Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. It took me a few minutes to decide which character to use, but today I think we're going to play with our friend Multiverse again. But today what we're going to do some missions from the on-duty menu. Basically, I'm trying to try to enjoy the double marks of victory while it still lasts. So today we're going to try to do that. That and also we're going to try to farm for some catalysts. Hello Wonder Boy. Hello Hellhound. Hello Real Time King. iTalks. Or is it AK-47? Hail Prodigy. So we should be good to go now. Hello Jabril. Hello Savage. And before we get started, I often say, hello Castas. Whenever you get the chance, go to the broker and look if you have you can find some good sweet deals. Sadly, we got a whole bunch of new emblems not too long ago. Usually, when that happens, it drives the price of the Stalwart Defender chest quite a bit. Like right now, 9, 10 millions is pretty much the asking price for the Stalwart Defender chest. I guess we're gonna wait a bit before buying that. Another thing that I'm looking for is some Beyond modes. I have a whole bunch of crafting left to do for with the Batman Beyond style, and some of the emblems from the Gotham Time capsules. And the Beyond modes are a bit pricey. Once in a while, I'll see one for very cheap, so I'll grab it. But sadly, hello Wolves Bay mods. Well, if you already have the Rebirth emblem, sure you could sell them, unless you plan to create other characters at some point. If you create another character, oh sure, I could put on the Superman emblem. If you could sell the Rebirth emblem, well, let's see how much the Batman Rebirth emblem is. It's just that if you sell it, maybe at some point you're going to want to give it to another character, and you won't have it anymore to be able to do that. Right now, oh, 10 millions. Well, yeah, it would be really tempting to sell it. How do I make so much money? It's very simple. I farm for collection and I sell them. It's sometimes I'll buy items for cheap and I'll sell them for much more expensive. But usually, basically, I farmed. I was a bit lucky. I got a somewhat good collection from the anniversary event. But as a rule of thumb, yeah, selling a collection 70,000, it's not that much money. But when you sell 100 of them, it adds up. So basically, selling collections. You can see item sold, item sold, item sold, and have hundreds, if not thousands, of such items. If I change the emblem, I'm gonna have to re-imprint my armory. Otherwise, as soon as I switch armory, the emblem will be gone. I guess I'm gonna switch the cape as well. Hello, Dominic. The sad part about the Superman emblem is that with the Ultraman emblem, we have a nice enhanced version of the emblem. The Superman emblem looks fine, but sadly, it is not. You don't have an enhanced version. I wish if they ever give us a Superman emblem at some point, we will have an enhanced version. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. Let's see for the back piece. Where's the steel? Oh, there it is. They're good to go. Well, I prefer trolling personally. It's a personal thing. Although when I play solo, usually I'll stick to playing DPS. But I DPS using a controller gear. So I probably don't do that much more DPS as a DPS and as a controller right now, but I probably do it just a little bit more. I'm not sure about the copyright thing, but it could be. But the truth is we don't really know why they took out the Superman emblem. Well, you decide, Eric. Right now, as you saw, the Rebirth emblem seems to be worth about 10 million. Although 10 million is the price, the asking price, we don't know if it's actually selling at that price or not. As far as Superman emblem, let's knock on wood, and with a bit of luck, we should be able to have a new Superman emblem when we have the 1000 issue of Action Comics for the 80th anniversary of Superman. I guess we'll have to wait and see. The issue I think is because they used the movie emblems. Uh, Oilman, oh yeah. Even though it's all DC and it's all under the Warner Brothers umbrella, you have to remember that DC Comics and DC movies not quite the same thing. And yes, they're all owned by Warner Brothers, but they're still independent entities. So sometimes they have their own agendas, and they have different agendas. If I put the negative Speed Force on red, I can try it, but I'm going to lose the emblem, and I'm going to be so sad. Yeah, auras are expensive right now, depending on which aura you're looking for. I have this strange feeling of deja vu. Oh yeah, I forgot to change the pants. Oh, I'm so sad now. I don't have the void material though, so I won't be able to do what you're requesting. This is as best as it could go. So let's see. Let's start with an easy one, and we'll work our way up. Oh, that was quick. It's okay. I don't. I'm not too crazy about that look. Actually, I know what I'm going to do for this one.
Oh, good. Superman said to expect you.
I didn't realize my combat rating would take such a hit.
The ship
Let's
Superman
change
may
back.
have mentioned has been commandeered by LexCorp agents. On top of that, they've taken over.
I just switched armory. I was thinking of using another armory for this mission, but I just realized how lower the combat rating is for that other armory. Oh yeah, at some point, I'm pretty sure what they'll do. They've done that once before. There was one time where we actually had all the time capsules. So there was a random chance of getting any of the older time capsules. And it was called like the Resurgence or something like that. So I pretty much believe that we will get something similar at some point. If I do a phase reveal, it'll be for like a million subs or something like that. It won't be for just 3,000. So if you want to see a face reveal, ask a million of your friends to subscribe, and maybe it'll happen. I'm not sure what our friend is. There he is.
This ends here.
I don't really like that look. Sorry, Jabril. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Oh, yeah, boy. Actually, we have no idea what the next DLC will be. We have no news on that front. All we know at this point is that we should have the Valentine seasonal. When is it? Thursday, Friday? And that's all the information we really have.
Come on, shoot, man. I thought Crash alien
There's
ships
some other information that I have, but I kind of hesitate to mention it. It's only a rumor, and we're not quite certain if, how true it is. Yeah, I saw the newest Supergirl. No, Lena did fine. I kind of liked her in that episode. It was a bit preachy, I think,
Whoever
but
is in my office got past all of my security, including
the episode overall was holy crap. It wasn't a good episode.
Really? Lead-lined walls, Lex? And you want me to believe this isn't a trap? I've already told the Justice League I'm here.
But yeah, for the next DLC, we don't know yet.
of all the ways I've imagined killing you, this is not one.
So it's anyone's guess, I suppose.
My office back. I hate when people mess with my station. All right, mystery man, we're here. Who the hell are you?
Good afternoon, Lex.
But with Supergirl, whenever they go too much into crying and like there was the whole bit about what's her name, Sam, who's they think she might be sick or something, and they did a whole bunch of tests, and then they cried because they're worried she might have something, and then when they find out she doesn't have anything, they cry some more, and I was like, kid, somebody kill me. I understand that that's the price to pay to watch that show. That's the show is for an audience that like that kind of stuff. Usually we can suffer through that in order to be able to enjoy the superhero bits, I suppose. But yesterday it was pretty light on the superhero, and there was a lot of crying and of touchy-feeling stuff. So it wasn't a good episode. And also some of the stuff they did was really, I will say corny, but it's not quite the right word. I didn't like it very much. The baseball bat. I got it with my Harley Quinn by accident. Basically, I don't know. I guess I got the bat in either in a mission or I bought it on the broker. I forget. So I know I have it on my Harley Quinn character. I forget how I got that. Hello, Asleep. You find collections by either flying around Gotham or Metropolis. Or there are certain missions where you can, certain instances where you can get collections. As you saw, I was poorly positioned. I kept on getting frozen. Yeah, PS3 is almost behind us, and so is the Anti-Monitor seasonal. Hello, MCP Gamer.
You gotta love it when the band gets back together.
Now that we're here, I suggest we split up. You two, follow me to the courthouse. It is the main source of corruption in Gotham City.
Thank you, Asleep. Although, sometimes... I think we're gonna wait for our friend. Oh, okay, Wally. Let's wait for our friend, Gandalf. Hello, Quantum Knight. I'm doing good. Sorry, I think I missed a comment or two. I guess our friend Mage Gandalf activated the cutscene. It happens. No, don't expect the graphics for a PS4 to change. The only thing you could probably expect, no stealth for Quantum. If you want a stealth, go with Mental. Mental plays pretty much the same as Quantum, I find. When I was playing my Mental character, I was playing it pretty much the same way I'm playing my Quantum. And but Mental does have stealth. It has invisibility, which is pretty much the same as stealth. Oh yeah, I love Superman. I love pretty much most DC or Marvel characters, especially the classic ones.
Hey, I'm allowed to do this.
Which is why sometimes I'll be a bit heartbroken when they try to reinvent what I find are perfectly fine characters. The latest example we have in that trend is with Thor. They pretty much destroyed Thor and tried to create a new character out of Thor. They pretty much created they turned Thor into a pro-man version of Raiden, which is very heartbreaking.
Mind your own business, freaks.
You swap gear style with armories. As you can see, I have like 4 armories equipped. So I could switch between 4 styles thanks to that.
Get out of here, scum. I didn't ask for your help. I got $20 on the one on the left.
Right now, the only movie we know that's coming out is Aquaman. They're talking also about Shazam, but we haven't seen. We saw a few photos about Shazam, and that's pretty much it.
We're gonna need an advance on your protection.
Well, they're talking about a lot of movies, but there's no movie other than Aquaman. There's no other movie in production, so they can talk about a lot of things. Like remember the last Fantastic Four movie they made? We're talking about doing Fantastic Four 2, and where's that movie? It'll never get made. They can talk and announce movies all they like, until the movie is actually produced. There's no guarantee it'll ever come out. Heck, even Aquaman, they could decide to pull the plug and never release Aquaman. I don't think that'll ever happen, but that could happen. Like right now, we hear a lot of rumors about Solo, that maybe Disney will pull the plug on Solo.
He's gone. Move quickly.
So you never know.
Criminal to show his face in my city. I see you found some more costume flunkies. Did you tell them what happened to the last bunch?
This time is
No, you can switch skill points if you want.
today.
I don't have time to play games with you. I have an entire police force to take out my trash for. If you don't mind.
You could have 4 DPS armories with various different things. I'll show you. I probably shouldn't do that, but well, we should be fine. Basically, the armory I tried a bit earlier is this one here. That has a mixture of Superman power with only 1 quantum ability. It's sort of my Blue Lantern Superman, sort of.
You shouldn't try to solve your problem with violence.
Well, so far we don't know that much about Shazam. We know that The Rock will play Black Adam, which should be fine. The Rock usually does a good job. He's not a great actor, but he dramatically did improve since his days when he was playing the Scorpion King.
Afraid so. First steps in this is remove the mayor from office. If removing
Well, let's give a little bow to our friend. He deserves
by
it.
all means, let's get to work. Thank you again. This is only the beginning.
And let's see what we got in the box. The Speed Demon gloves. So basically you can have multiple armories with various loadout. Like this one has pretty much a Superman type loadout with heat vision, freeze breath. Like if I want to roleplay sort of Superman, that could be it. Although I made it into my Blue Lantern Superman. The next power, we have no idea what it's going to be. If someone says it's wind, I think they're trying to pull a fast one. You can have different skill points. You could decide to have one armory where your skill points are. Well, let's go check. Like you could decide to have an armory, let's say that where your focus is super powered, and where you put your points in might and power, for example. You could have another armory where you put your points into weapon expert, and you put your points in precision, and that could be an armory where you actually use your weapon as opposed to using your powers. You could have a third armory where you do a completely different setup. When they did the Dark Knight Returns comics, Tim Drake didn't exist at the time. The Robin at the time was Jason Todd, which is why in the Dark Knight Returns, the Robin who died was Jason Todd, and that was before Jason Todd actually died in the comics. As for the other characters, Frank Miller just decided not to show them. There's no real explanation there. Oh, I'm still. The armor swap, it's the L1 and L2 and R2 buttons. You have to hold them all together, and then with the D-pad you select which armory how you want. Like I have a Captain Cold armory, because I thought the suit was so cool, and also it became somewhat the armory that I use at the very least when I run the vault. I'll use dual pistols. And this was pretty much my Kryptonian roleplay armory with my Blue Lantern Superman. And also, it's an armory where I'm still using the Starro Omnipotence items. I should replace them with some newer items. But the thing is that it's the only rings that actually give you defense, if I'm not mistaken. The same with the belt. The belt actually gives you defense. It's not a big deal, but And it has some sort of a sentimental value. So whenever I play, let's say by myself, and I decide to have a bit of fun, I'll switch to that armory. As you can see, my combat rating does take quite a hit, though. It goes down by like 20. But if I play low-level missions, it doesn't really matter. Oh, you have to go. If you go to the watchtower, I'll show you. We're here anyway. If you want to reset your points, which is what you're asking, I'm pretty sure. Oh, no problem, MCP gamer. If you want to reset your points, you have to go over here. Oh. That's what happens when you read the chat and fly at the same time. So you see those machines over here? And these will reset your points to 0, and then you can reassign your skill points any way you want. So we did the 2-player, so let's try 4-player. Actually, let's put in Rise of the Bat. It's been a while. I guess a movie theater in the league hall could be fun. How to level up fast? It's a little tricky to answer. A great example I have on video is my Doctor Strange. I basically went from level 30, I think, or level 29 to combat rating 62 or 64 in about like 2.5 hours. So that's probably a great example of how to level fast. The Phoenix material that comes from either the Amazon time capsules or the broker. And even then, right now the Amazon time capsules, you have to get those from the broker. So either way, it comes from the broker, and then you have to decide whether you purchase the collections to get the... Oh, too much talking, not enough power given. A million quick, farm collections and sell them. If you're lucky, you'll get collections that are worth a couple of millions. But sadly, those collections are somewhat rare. So ideally, find a place where you have at least some somewhat valuable collections. Again, if you're lucky, you'll get the rare collections that you can sell for 3, 4, 5 millions. If you're not so lucky, then you'll sell a whole bunch of collections, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, and all those will add up, and you'll have a million. I've done the sort of test not that long ago. Basically, I was able to get a million, and with by farming collections about an hour, I was able to get a million. Like within the hour, I had about 700,000 from selling those collections on a broker. And overnight, the rest of the collections sold by themselves, and the next day I had a million. I don't think Batman has a Batcave in Metropolis, but even and in Gotham, he has actually a couple of them. At some point in the late 70s, early 80s, editors or writers thought that it wasn't very realistic for Batman to be all the way outside of Gotham with the Wayne Manor. So they decided to give him a penthouse at some point so that it would be directly inside Gotham, as opposed to living, I don't know, 20 miles from Gotham or something. Oh, you have Costas. You have to increase the quality of your gear. It's sadly it's pretty much that simple. My fourth one is my supercharge. I will show you in a bit. Basically, it shields a group. It puts a shield like that around everyone in the group, and it gives power to the group and all that good stuff.
You idiots! Stop the Gordon! You can't run from me. He's heading for the elevator. I'm going after him. Take out.
Sure, I could show it to you after this mission. This one? That's let me show you again. We didn't really see what it does. Basically, it's the supercharge generator, and roughly it's a crowd control, and it's also a healing debuff. Like, that's what it does. So it's a crowd control. It recharges the supercharge, and it puts a healing debuff on the enemies. The healing debuff is not very useful, but just for the supercharger generator and the crowd control, it's worth it just for that. Well, if you wait until your top CR, any gear you're gonna get from the time capsule will be worthless because it won't be as good as the gear you have on your character. Like right now, my character has the Allman set of gear. Pretty much all the gear from the time capsules is not as good as the gear that I have. So from right now, I have the All Suit set of gear. And every gear I get from time capsules now is worthless. It's only good for the style. All the gear I got from the Anti-Monitor seasonal, that was worthless. It wasn't as good as my gear that I have right now. So once you get the top gear, pretty much everything from the time capsules is worthless, other than for the style, that is. I'm not sure if Earth is the best, but it's pretty good right now. The point of time capsules, it's extra income for DC Universe, and it gives us access to more styles than we would have normally. It gives us also emblems. We have been a long time without getting any new emblems from DC Universe Online. So thanks to time capsules, we have a whole bunch of new emblems. We have some awesome new styles like the speed metal style. We got some awesome new style also like the Batman Beyond style. The thing is that a lot of people play this universe online for free since it's a free-to-play game, and they have to make money somehow. And sadly, we've known for like 5 years at least that the subscriptions, it's not enough for them to make their money. So time capsule is one of the ways they found to be able to make some income. they've tried to monetize a few things. Like at some point they tried to monetize a PvP, and it was a disaster. So the time capsule is one way for them to monetize new emblems, to monetize new styles, to monetize a whole bunch of stuff that normally they wouldn't be able to monetize.
Intruders found. Transmitting coordinates for security in 5, 4, 3, 2.
No, the Superman emblem sadly is no longer available. It was available for about a month at most. So it was available around the same time as the Batman vs Superman film was in theater. No, Prometheum lockboxes are different. Basically, the Prometheum lockboxes are the prototype or the first attempt at doing something like the time capsules. They created the Prometheum lockboxes, hoping that people would buy those at I think it's like $2.50 per lockbox if you want to open them, if you're not legendary. So it was their way to try to monetize a few extra things like the new styles and stuff like that. I don't think it was that successful. Then after that they tried to do the same thing with booster bundles. And then they went one step further with time capsules. And from what we can tell, it seems that time capsules were really successful, which I can easily understand. The style we got thanks to time capsules have been really great. The styles, the styles for the gear, and even the emblems, they did a really good job in most of those.
No one operates in my city without paying a price. I'll take yours in blood.
Yeah, as far as I know, people are still playing PvP. But I have to admit, I haven't played it myself in quite a while. You become a Justice League member around level 30. At level 30, you receive a mail telling you you're part of the Justice League, and they give you even your own Justice League emblem. Yeah, there's a few auras that could work well with a quantum character. I'll try and show you one or two after this mission. Not sure why our friend Wolf's Finest seems to be struggling to heal, but
Time to kick this party up a notch. You're a mortal of the door prize. Didn't invite you goons to the open bar in the anti-pasta. Kill them, you Goombas!
the Riddler aura comes from a series of collections. I'll tell you in just a minute. Yeah, that's so sweet. Maybe you should tell Maps to make my character a mentor in DCUO.
I am going home right now.
Ow, man, is gonna be so...
For Quantum, there's the Plasmic Aura that would work really well, like a blue Plasmic Aura. Sadly, it's probably pretty rare right now or pretty expensive on the broker. because it's an aura that was available only in booster bundles, I think. And it hasn't been available for quite some time, so it's probably really expensive on the broker right now. We could go take a look in just a minute. The visitor gear, I suppose? I assume you mean the visitor, MCP gamer? Decisions. The stopwatch or a bat signal. Oh, let's go for the bat signal.
It was all him.
Have like a billion bat signal, and every time I'll still take the bat signal.
You simpering worm, Gordon.
You murdered his parents.
Spare me. Gordon used their blood money to buy votes. It's true, but you got him killed. Shut your mouth.
Next time I chat with Maps, I'll mention that.
Shut your mouth.
Which will probably never happen since I'm not. Me and Maps are not that close. So let's give a little bow to everyone. Okay, so we'll start with the first thing. Yeah, I understood you meant the visitor gear. The visitor gear, you have to get it from the broker. Technically, it comes from the notorious time capsules, but you just buy it from the broker. You're gonna have to buy the time capsules from the broker anyway. So for the crafting, someone was asking about that. It's somewhat simple. You have to get some plans. There's this little fella over here. I think it's him. Oh no, it's that lady over here. That lady over here sells some plans, which we're not going to be able to see because as you can see, I purchased almost every plan that she has. She only has 2 plans left, and I don't think I'll ever buy those. Recovery kits are a little pointless anyway. And oh, let's repair. And there's this little fella who sells a whole bunch of crafting materials. So basically, if you want to be able to do some crafting, you need to get the plan for whatever you need to craft. And once you get the plan, then you're going to need various components. So right now, as you can see, for the high-tech call, I require 15 complex material, 25 simple, and 5 beyond modes. Which is why I was looking for beyond modes earlier on the broker. Whenever I get the chance, I take a look for some beyond modes. Because sadly, I'm going to need 5... God, come on. 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 55. I'm going to need 55 beyond modes to be able to craft everything you see here. And also I'm going to need a bunch of other modes because I'm going to want to craft the enhanced version for my Batman Beyond character. So I will require a lot of modes. At least 55, 65, 75, 85. I'll require about 85 modes in order to be able to craft everything. Yeah, Fortnite, I will give it a try when I get the chance. Hello, AZ Bros. I will give a try to Fortnite when I get the chance, but sadly, I just can't find the time. There's also Batman, the Telltale game, that I've been meaning to try, and again, I don't have the time to do that just yet. Right now, playing DCUO and doing those videos is pretty much all the time I have. So again, for the crafting, basically you need whatever materials it says you need. So you need the plan that you want for the thing you want to craft, and you need the materials for the thing you want to craft. For the exhibits, you have to farm in the open world, or you can buy some on the broker. For the equipment interface, whether it's beta or... the Anti-Money Order collection gets you... I think it gets you the New Gods aura. And the more you go up in level, like the if you want to craft some higher level mods, as you can see at some point, it requires a lot of crafting materials. And this little guy sells a whole bunch of, sell at least some of the crafting materials you need. For the rest, you're gonna have to either farm in the open world, or you could purchase them from the broker. Yeah, those who got free membership, it's going to end. Uh, what date are we? 30. Come on, come on. So yeah, so if you have the free membership, you have 2 days left, and that's going to be it for the free membership. So tomorrow and today and tomorrow, 2 last days for the free membership. After tomorrow, the free membership will be gone. No, I don't know Maps. I was kidding when I said next time I chat with him. I know he knows I exist because he replied to one of my posts at least once or twice on the forums. But that's as far as it goes. I don't know Maps. Like we crossed chat on the forums and that's it. What else were we sub? Oh yeah, the auras. For a good aura for quantum, let's see if we can find something. It's not bad. I'm not sure why it's pink though, but for quantum, I guess any of the blue auras would kind of work. This could work for quantum. Or this, yeah, this is what I was thinking of. So you could get a blue plasmic aura for your character, but it's 35 millions, so it'll be a bit pricey. Ooh, that's too much for me. Ooh, that's. So for the person who was asking for the anti-monitor collection, this is the aura you get, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, for quantum, I would go with some sort of blue or dark blue aura. That would kind of work with a quantum character. Like I guess this could work. I know I'm not too happy about the radiant auras though, but this could work. It's a nice enough aura, and it's fairly inexpensive, unless you're a free-to-play player. 400,000, 500,000, pretty easy to get in this universe online. Why are people selling green auras? Either they don't need it, they don't want it, they already have it, and they got more than one. I have no idea. What's good to sell on the broker? Anything that has some value, even if it's only $1,000. Like if you sell a hundred items at $1,000, you made 100,000. You sell 10 items at 100,000, you made 1 million. So anything you have that you can sell, just sell it. Yeah, PS again. Today and tomorrow, last days you're going to be able to play with your PS3. After that, sadly, no more PS3 for you. It looks really sweet. So for those who were wondering why time capsules, this is why. It allows us to have some really nice set of gear. It allows them to monetize making new sets of gear for us, to monetize making new emblems, and it gives us some really, really awesome styles. The weapon of choice with the Riddler? No idea. On Flash Day? I didn't realize there was a Flash Day. So let's cure for another mission. Let's try and cure for... where is it? I haven't done this one in quite a while, so why not? And of course... the Diamond Aura could be an option, I suppose, but... Oh, I'm trying to read the chat. The Diamond Aura could be an option, but sadly it is an aura that you have to get using... oh. It is an aura you have to get using Quark's currency, and you pretty much have to get those from time capsules. But yeah, it's a nice aura though. Oh, not this one. It's a nice enough aura. I could see at least a few characters using that. Although in game I haven't seen that many use those.
Someone has definitely set off the alarms here.
Yeah, if you go on if you upgrade to PS4, everything you have on PS3 you will have on PS4. So don't worry about that. Your account doesn't disappear.
Find the source of that gas and shut it off. Whatever it is, it's toxic.
Thanks for the assist. Let me help return the favor.
Who knows, maybe for the 80th anniversary of Superman, or when they release the 1000 issue of Action Comics, maybe we'll get a Superman capsule. We'll see.
My father! I should have known he would use this as an opportunity to take down Gotham City. He is a maniac and must be stopped.
Maniac is right. We've got to stop the League of Assassins right here, right now.
Well, until you actually get a Superman emblem, you could try and get the Superwoman emblem. It works well enough as a poor man Superman emblem, or as a substitute. Oh no! Nah, waited too long. That's a disaster. Yeah, it looks great for a retro type Superman.
Take it easy on these guys. They're innocent.
You have the Flash call and the Batman call. It's the only two I can think of. A little too late to activate that, but
Security camera deactivated. No security security personnel override detected. Activating automated defense security protocols now. Repairing.
You've made quite the impression on Mr. Wayne's security bots. Don't worry, he can afford to replace them. Try to avoid the security alarms when you can, and manually shut them down when you can't.
They're both, well, it depends what character you want to create. If you want to create a Flash character, the Flash call is for you. Although you could use there's also the Black Flash call. I guess I forgot about that one. So you have the option between the Flash or the Black Flash, and obviously there's the Batman call. So these are the options. I guess we could count Batman Beyond amongst those.
This is odd. Clearly, there were automated defenses engaged in the lobby, but the cameras were knocked out and the doors sealed. I think the League has somehow taken control over the warehouse defenses and are deactivating and reactivating them as they see fit, just to mess with you. Keep on your toes.
I shall end you. You dare strike me.
Yeah, the chest from Steel would be an option, although I would suggest the chest from Power Girl instead.
Defense security protocols now.
Well, it is what it is. You do what you can with the styles you have. Obviously, if we had the choice, we would use an official Superman chest with an official Superman emblem. Sadly, the options we have is either the steel chest, the Power Girl chest.
We must slow them down. More time is needed to obtain the
There's two aura box, so it depends on which one you're talking about. I assume you're talking about the auras on the marketplace. If I'm not mistaken, it comes with there's 4 aura for each, but I forget which aura you actually get with those. Well, the auras are fairly inexpensive on the marketplace. It's like $2, so it shouldn't be too dramatic. And also, if you purchase an aura on the marketplace, you can redeem that aura on every single character you own. So if you purchase an aura pack of like 4 auras, you're going to have those 4 auras for all your characters. So if you have alternate characters, it's going to be a sweet deal. My dislikes for Arkham Knight? If I have any issues with Arkham Knight is that they went a little too crazy with using the Batmobile. It was fun to use the Batmobile, but they went a little overboard with that. I understand that they were probably really happy to have come up with what was a pretty cool Batmobile, but there was a lot of missions that required you to use the Batmobile.
That little batty will not be telling you any more information, my pets. Now it's just you and me. Oh, and Mr. Wayne's overpriced security. Checkmate. This part of the game was amusing, but now it is time for me to take the castle. Goodbye. We shall not meet again.
Use of force authorized. Power dampening grenades online. Stun settings overridden. Shield reactivated. Shield overloaded. Recharging. Shield reactivated.
I'm not sure why I can seem to lock on the.
Recharging.
Oh, there we go. Oh, thank you, Andy. Yeah, I could check. Give me after this mission, I'll give a look at Costas. I have to go to the marketplace. Not sure if it's boxes or bundles but basically there's two options on the marketplace where you can purchase like 4 auras. Yeah, tonight is the Flash and Black Lightning, if I'm not mistaken. Well, technically, we already have a Justice League game with DCUO. But if they ever make a Justice League game like the Arkham Knights game, yeah, it could be good.
I told you not to engage. But you're safe. Now let's see what she was up to. Damn. I know why she came here and I know where she's headed next. Look, I need your help with this, but I can't reveal the location of the Batcave. You'll have to trust me. This next part might be uncomfortable.
Warning. Internal firewalls breached. Attempting to secure data in system offline.
Activating intrusion countermeasures.
Talia's taken over the Batcave security protocols. Follow my lead.
I could have sworn. Oh, there it is. Oh, next time. Well, the story is always is a somewhat important part, but also the gameplay. You have games that sometimes don't have that good of a story, but where the gameplay is really good. But of course, ideally, you want a game that has a good story. But sadly, it's not always an option.
They're learning how to use security devices. Security device upgrade in progress.
We have to disable these turrets. Batman has added shielding to them that makes them extremely difficult to take down, much less access. Beat down the shielding so I can get close enough to override their systems.
Anti-personnel turret offline. Redirecting protocols. Begin cycling in 3, 2, 1.
Cover me. I've initiated the override protocols, but my code needs time to lock the turret down. Keep these jerks off me while I finish this.
Anti-personnel turret online. New protocols secure. Engage foreign entities.
Yeah, sadly, I can guarantee you that producers usually want to go for the safer bet, so they would probably try to make a game for the more popular superheroes as opposed to all of them.
My code needs time to lock the turret down. Keep these jerks off me while I finish this.
Anti-personnel turret online. New protocols
That did it.
secure.
This turret won't be
Engage
bothering us
foreign
anymore.
Well, hopefully they'll improve at least some of the stuff from DCUO.
Anti-personnel turret offline. Redirecting protocols. Begin cycling in 3, 2, 1.
Cover me. I've initiated the override protocols, but my code needs time to lock the turret down. Keep these jerks off. This ends here and now, Talia. Step away from the Bat computer, and I promise I won't break all of your bones.
Oh, my sweet, sweet Batwoman. Always in the shadow of your superior.
Who knows, maybe someday they'll give us a Justice League emblem pack or Justice League time capsules with all the Justice League emblems. You never know.
What kind of bat do you
The game should get better, at least on a few fronts. Already, we saw with Earth 3, I thought they did a really good job with Earth 3 and trying to appease a little bit everyone. They have the missions and the events tab for everyone, even those who aren't subscribers. They have the missions and the on-duty tabs for everyone else. So I thought they did a really good job with some of those things.
Intrusion countermeasures.
I don't think they'll ever remove skill points. There's too many people who seem to be in love with skill points, so we're pretty much stuck with skill points. Well, the future Batman style, you can get it from the broker right now. And let's assume you don't want to buy it from the broker for reasons. You can buy the time capsules from the broker for you if you really want to. So if you really want the future Batman style, there's still options to do to get it. Ah, come on. That was bad. No, you cannot get it from log boxes. You have to get it from. It comes from the original time capsules. That was bad. I'm not sure what happened. Future Batman. No, it came out. Came out like in August 2016. As I said, people can still get the style from the broker, or they can still get the time capsules themselves from the broker. So the style is still available, but you have to use the broker for that. Last I checked, it wasn't that expensive, but as I always say, prices on the broker changes all the time. So I would have to check and see how much it is right now, because there's a few styles that seems to have gone up in prices. That did surprise me a bit. Not sure why the healer is not healing. My favorite villain on the Gotham series? It's hard to tell. Probably, I guess I would have to say the Riddler. I kind of like Ed in the Gotham TV show. It's inconsistent. I'll give you that. But if Disney buy Fox as it's being planned, we're going to see probably the last season of Gotham this year.
Sorry, Dr. Langstrom. This is for your own good. What's this in his pocket? A voice recorder?
Whoever gets this message, please help. I'm a scientist being forced to work on a serum that transforms subjects into these bat creatures. The League of Assassins kidnapped my wife and forced me to weaponize the formula. I'm being held at the... Wait, they're coming. You have to...
There's something else. In the background noise of the recording. Give me a moment to isolate the frequency.
Riddle me this, riddle me that.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Gotham's brand new bat.
I won't say that.
Of course, the Gotham Zoo has a new
We're done with this mission.
exhibit.
Let's go to the broker and let's have a look.
Riddler. You saved me a nanosecond of detective work. Let's get to the zoo and end this game once and for all. I have a strong
Last year they had what they call the resurgence. Well, like for a month, I think, we had like all the time capsules. So we can expect that the time capsules will make some sort of comeback. Let's go for the bats. So let's give a little bow to our friends. And let's get out of here. We should get news about a new episode before long. So let's go check a little something. Well, I did show a few on the broker. That wasn't enough? Like for Quantum, well, let's go again. For Quantum, for the auras, the better option, I would see... come on, come on. Like some of the good options for Quantum is pretty much any blue aura would do the trick. But of course, something like blue plasmic would be the ideal choice. But it's 35 millions, so I can understand that someone wouldn't want that. On the marketplace, oh, you had the Red Death gear. Oh, and you didn't say anything. Oh, I was so sad. I'm gonna have to go empty my inventory, it seems. So for the auras that you can get from the marketplace, I think we have to go to styles. So you can see there's a 2 aura pack. There's aura pack 1 here. It has the white radiant aura, blue plasmic, purple plasmic aura, dark blue smoke aura, purple nimbus aura. And the other one has the black vapor, the purple vapor, the orange vapor, or the red vapor. So these are the 2 aura packs that you can purchase if you want to purchase the packs. Personally, I would suggest just buy the normal aura. They're somewhat oh, there we go. Like the dark blue aura would do the trick well enough for a quantum character. I didn't realize I had purchased so many auras. I'm glad it helped. It helped you, Robbie. And now let's take a look at the future Batman style. Thank you, Superior Ion. I do what I can. It's okay, Sawsaholic. I was kidding a bit. Future Crusader. So you can see again, you can get the belt for about 300,000, and the boots. The boots are a little more pricey for about 1.5 million. The bracers 300,000, maybe less. Let's see. Oh, even less. 230,000. The cape 7 millions. That's the price for the cape. The same for the chest. The helm again, similar prices I suppose. 5 million. The leg plate. I'm surprised at the legs. Oh, I thought so. Like sometimes you'll see some crazy prices, like 15 millions for the legs, and you have to wonder who thought this was a good idea. 2 millions for the legs, that's a fair price. And the shoulders less than 500,000, that's also a fair price. So you can get the Future Crusader from the broker easily enough. They won't do that, Jeffrey. They personally, yeah, I would like if they did that. I might be able to get a few auras that I didn't get the first chance, the first time they were available. I guess I'm gonna have to make some room.
Waller here. This affair is now under Task Force X jurisdiction.
Let's consume the bats.
Suicide Squad to assist you in your objectives. Just keep your nose down. The squad won't step a toe out of line.
Oh. Right now it's 6:30. Let's switch back to Troll. Holy crap. That was not good. I strongly suspect, like Meps gave us pretty much a hint for the Superman emblem. Basically, if there's ever a significant date or something like that, a significant event, odds are if they release a Superman emblem, that's going to be then. And we do have a significant event coming up. There's the 1000th issue of Action Comics coming up. So if we don't get a new Superman emblem for the 1000th issue of Action Comics, we'll never get one. So I strongly believe that by, when is it, April, by the time the issue comes out, or around the time the issue comes out, we should get a new Superman emblem. Actually, we should get a few new Superman goodies. I don't believe they'll just give us an emblem. They have to give us more than that. I don't think we'll ever get an underwater DLC. I don't think they can do underwater. Uh, so I wouldn't expect that to happen. But having the Aquaman's Lighthouse, that could be a new map that they could add easily. It would just mean either adding a new instance or they could even try and add it to Metropolis maybe, but I don't know how easily they can modify the open world. Well, the 1000 issue of Action Comics will pretty much be released on the 80th anniversary of Superman. So the both Action Comics 1000 and so the 1000th issue of Action Comics and the 80th anniversary of Superman, it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, so there's basically Maps told us that if they were to release such an emblem, it would be during a significant event, and I can't think of any more significant than that. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Well, if you mean something like the Atlantean Outpost mission, yeah, sure, they could create some Aquaman content that way. But I thought you meant like actually being underwater and swimming underwater and all that underwater physics stuff. That I doubt that would happen. Although you never know, they could surprise us. Once in a while, they'd actually do manage to surprise us. Oh.
Enough games. I'll whip you all into submission myself. You're not worthy to lick my boots. The Syndicate will make you pay. Why should we fight when we can?
See if you can take out those drones somehow.
No one lays a hand on me unless I command them.
Come on.
How dare you strike me? On your knees, beg me to end this. Even low dogs get lucky. No one lays a hand on me unless I command them.
Destroy the drone.
How dare you strike me? Even lowly dogs get lucky. Why should we fight when we can?
Come on.
The Syndicate will make you pay. Why?
What Batman armor should we get next? I'm not sure. Could be one of the Dark Knight's metal armor, like the Dawnbreaker.
How dare you strike me? Even lowly dogs get lucky.
Don't stay in the way.
And with that, I've bought us enough time to finish our little
Just one more. Like an Adam West Batman. You can't refuse Adam West to have his own Batman in this universe online.
Why doesn't that feel reassuring? You're just going to have to trust me.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do about making an Arkham Knight style. You can pretty much recreate Azrael or Asbat as people have been calling it. But yeah, boy, I'll see what I can do about making an Arkham Knight armory. Technically, I'm sort of making that for my Red Hood character. Since he's Jason Todd and the evil Arkham Knight is Jason Todd, I thought I could give him an Arkham Knight armory.
Johnny, we need this powered up now. Get running. Don't boss me around, Hootie, or you can power up this machine yourself.
Yeah, Superman is a bit overdue.
Atomica needs some new playthings. Superman, the other intruders are overwhelmed.
Sometimes I wonder if it's maybe an issue also of money, essentially.
We need to go after them. The others are gonna need backup. Even a broken clock, right? Twice a day, right?
Like we don't know how exactly it works for DC Universe Online. Do they pay DC a flat fee and they can use anything? Come on. Do they pay DC a flat fee and can use anything they like from the comics? Do they have to pay for each thingy they use? Like one of the reasons why it seems I wouldn't be surprised why it's difficult to get certain iconic styles. It's quite possible that they have to pay extra for certain things. Like if they have to pay for, let's say, an emblem of a character not so popular like John Constantine, they have to pay 50 cents. If they have to add an emblem like a new Superman emblem, maybe they have to pay $1,000. Like maybe there are things that are extras where they have to pay a supplement or something to the license.
You've terrorized this world for too long. I'm here to put an end to you and the crime syndicate once and for all.
Always the hero. The people of this world don't respect heroes.
Yeah, I suspect any group missions has to be difficult to put a group together for the EU.
With good reason. Soon the crime syndicate will be the most feared beings on two earths. You will die for that.
I am stronger.
Well, Green Lantern did get a few suits. Superman did get a few suits also, basically around the time of Fortress of Solitude. They had like 4 new Kryptonian suits. Not to mention the suit that Power Girl is selling.
Get back here. This one's going into overtime. So weak.
So there was a time when we had quite a few Superman Kryptonian suits, sort of, and we had only like the the Dark Spectre suit for Batman.
Ultraman, something's not right. We can't keep playing tug-of-war with the portal. It feels all wrong, man.
I don't care. Keep running. We have to stop them.
Field of fury is super weak. No one lays a hand on me unless I command them.
Yeah, there's also Fallen God, which is a Superman suit. So it's not like we didn't get the Superman suits in the game, but we don't have the quote-unquote official Superman suit, I suppose.
Seriously, something big is coming. You feel it tugging on me.
Ignore it and keep running. chasing me. We need to stop this. Stop running now, and you'll stop running forever.
Well, the boots, the tall classic boots, are pretty close to Superman's boots. But yeah, having a nice chest that would allow with either a big Superman emblem or having a big Superman emblem and a slimline chest that could have a big emblem, that could work too. For the cape, we do have a few options for the cape. For survival mode, we haven't heard anything. I guess it's not as popular as people may think, or maybe it requires too much work on their part, and it's not monetized, so it doesn't bring in any fresh new money.
I'm done. Yeah, spent. Johnny's gonna need a calf massage. No, you idiot. The portal to their Earth is not fully open. Their world must be ours.
That wasn't too bad in the end, but
Wait.
let's never do that again.
Alexander!
What's happening? Someone tell me what's going on.
Tore a hole in our universe.
They're both awesome. Superman is awesome, Batman is awesome, Flash is awesome, Future Flash is awesome, except for Savitar.
This isn't over. There isn't anywhere you can hide from me.
I should probably make a Future Flash video, especially I've been promising a John Fox video for a long time. I should probably do that soon. Too many videos and not enough time. Yeah, my inventory stuff. Well, there's a reason for that.
I don't like that Johnny guy, but
A lot of the stuff in my inventory is either crafting material that I'm not really using, and as you can see, it's only stacks of 16, so that's bad. But also, there's a lot of it that is base items. Basically, I have a plan for those base items. I'm just waiting for the anniversary event to be over, and then I'm going to split the base items amongst some of my characters, and then you should probably see a few bases that will be heavily decorated with the new base items. I guess I could consume the modern flesh. So I basically have a plan for those base items. I'm just not quite ready to use them just yet, but soon. Yeah, Batman comics have been selling more than Superman comics for some time. It hasn't always been the case though, but yeah. I'm still trying to get more Owen base items. Once in a while I'll see one on the broker, although right now whenever there's one that pops on the broker, they're pretty expensive. Let's take a quick look. Oh, come on, come on. There is the Owen Gateway. That seems to be the only base items we have right now, and it's 14 millions. A little too expensive. I already have a few in my Green Lantern base. That's pretty much all I need. If it was cheaper, I could be tempted to buy a couple more, but not at that price. I haven't seen Batman Ninja yet, so I'm gonna hold until I actually see it. I saw Gotham by Gaslight. It was a cringe-worthy to watch. They did increase some of the stacks to 99, but not all of them. Like these. These do not stack, sadly. So the core elements, Goons of Gotham, do not stack. And as you can see, I have a whole bunch of them. This I should give to another character. So again, you guys are wondering how I make money like that. So basically, I played the anniversary event with a handful of characters again today. And what I do is that whatever collections those characters gain, they send to my Multiverse. They put in their shared bank, and then Multiverse comes here. And he sees 10,000. Let's put it up for 5. $100,000. I could ask maybe 50, but let's push it. Let's try 60. Let's push our luck. And this one, 2,000. Oh well. Let's ask 1,500. And there you go, guys. You know the secret of making money. You gather a whole bunch of base items, collections, whatever. Anything you can sell, you sell on the broker. And after selling hundreds of those items, you have some cash. No, that's not the issue. The issue of the DC movies is that there's something you guys have to understand is that Marvel Studios was created to make Marvel movies. That was their main statement, not statement, mission statement. Marvel Studios are created to create Marvel movies. That's their goal. Warner Brothers were not created to make DC movies. Heck, there was a time when Warner Brothers did not own DC. So when Warner bought DC, obviously they're the ones who started making DC movies. But the Warner Brothers mission statement is not to make DC movies. It is to make movies, period. And if you look at some of the movies that Warner's tried to make in the past couple of years, sometimes Warner's will try to make Oscar bait movies as opposed to making, let's say, DC movies. So a lot of their focus is on movies, Oscar bait movies. And sadly, superhero movies do not fall within that realm. Does not fall within that category. So, and I can guarantee you that there's a lot of people at Warner who are probably not very happy that they have to make movies about silly characters like Batman and Superman and all that stuff. Which is probably why they pretty much destroyed the Superman and they tried to reinvent it as a darker Superman because the darker Batman sold a lot of movie tickets. So some genius figured, okay, let's take Superman and turn him darker like Batman, which is all kinds of stupid, but that's how it is. But so at the heart of the problem is that you have to understand that Warner Brothers doesn't care about making DC movie as much as you might think. They care about making movies, period. So let's say that for a lot of people at Warner's making movies about silly superheroes, that is most likely beneath them. They probably aren't very, very happy. I will tell you stories about a project I used to work on. There was the studio I was working for, and we were producing cartoons, silly little cartoons. And the studio was the company had various branches, and our branch was producing cartoons, but there was also some live action shows that were being created. Sure, superhero, we could do something at some point. So anyway, so basically we had also various live TV shows, and once in a while we would have a big office parties where we would meet people from other departments. Like we would meet people from legal, we would meet people from accounting, and we would meet people from marketing. People we never really saw on the day-to-day operations because we weren't like we had various floors and we weren't on the same floor. If it makes any sense. No, Superman should never be dark. That's exactly. So, anyways, so at some point during one party, we were talking with this lady in accounting, and so we asked her, "What do you do?" And she, not in accounting, in marketing, sorry. So we were talking with the lady, and she was telling us that, "Oh, I work at marketing. I market that TV show and that TV show. I'm marketing the live action TV shows," and and then she told us very seriously that she hated to have to market also the silly cartoons that we were making. At the time, she didn't know that we were the ones making the cartoons. So she was telling us how she was marketing the live-action TV shows, and that the evil company was forcing her to do also some marketing for the silly cartoon TV shows that we were producing, and she was really unhappy about that, and it was beneath her. And then she asked us, and what do you guys do? And then we told her, oh, we're making the silly TV shows that you don't want to market. So, and sadly, that I can guarantee you that odds are that kind of story happens a lot at Warner's. I guarantee you that a lot of people at Warner's want to make Oscar bait movies. They don't really want to make superhero movies. So that's why they're either trying to turn superhero movies into something else, and like they did with Man of Steel, or they just, I wouldn't say that they're sabotaging the films, but I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of stuff happens sometimes. Well, producers are risk averse, and if they see something that works, they foolishly think that, oh, let's apply that to everything. So they saw that the Nolan Batman that was dark was successful. So instead of thinking that it was successful because it was Batman, they thought, oh, well, it's successful because it's dark. So let's make Superman, and Batman was successful because it was dark. Let's make Superman dark, and it'll be successful. That's the kind of thinking that producers have, sadly. Uh, the money thing is kind of true, but not really. Sadly, within companies and even within various branches of a company, you have people with different agenda. Yes, money is important, but believe it or not, they have people who actually have an agenda, and there are people who will push an agenda, even if it means that they'll lose money. So depending on what the agenda of the various people is, you can end up with some pretty questionable decisions sometimes. Man of Steel was a mess. There's no other words to say that. The internal logic of the film didn't work on so many levels, but even worse than that, like uh, sadly, Zack Snyder has a pretty nihilistic, I think that's the right word, nihilistic views of the world, and he brought that to Man of Steel. Like when you have a scene with Pa Kent where young Clark asks him about if he should have let the people on the bus drown instead of saving them just to protect his secret, and Pa Kent says maybe. That's a very nihilistic approach to that, and you have to wonder how could the producers and the director think that the character of Pa Kent would ever say maybe to that to young Clark? It makes no sense. It makes no, and even within the context of the story they did, it made no sense either. So and there's so many things that were wrong, even with Man of Steel, but again also with BVS and most of the DC films, even Wonder Woman, even though Wonder Woman was the most successful of the bunch, I think, in terms of critical reception. And even Wonder Woman had its flaws, and the last act in Wonder Woman was pretty atrocious. But there was so many so many flaws, not just in terms of the characters, but the internal logic in Man of Steel that it was a mess. There's no other words. Well, the immigrant aspect was messed up because it's not as if the way Zack Snyder made Superman, it's as if he came to Earth when he was like 33 years old. But Superman had been on Earth for 33 years. He basically was born on Earth. It's not as if he came to Earth as an adult and is an immigrant that came to Earth and doesn't know Earth. He knows Earth. He grew up on Earth. He's been on Earth his whole life. So the whole story about him being an immigrant, I can sort of understand what he was trying to do. But there's this famous line about execution is different than intent. The intent was to probably portray an alien Superman that was an immigrant to this world, but the execution was very poor. Well, yes, you would want to protect Clark, but not to the point of telling him, "Yeah, let them drown." That's fine. No decent person would do that, and that's the whole point. Is that the view that Zack Snyder has is that people aren't decent. Like he has this nihilistic view where there's no decent people. Everyone is corrupt, and everyone is out for themselves, and it's a very dangerous view, I think, to propagate. Yeah, I didn't like Superman saying that either. But in BVS, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that didn't make sense. Uh, well, yes, Talia Snyder didn't understand that they're two sides of the same coin. Yeah, Batman operates in the dark, but Superman should operate in the dark, in the light. But at the end of the day, they're both trying to do the right thing, and they're both trying to save lives. The sad part is that the cartoon by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and this basically what became known as the Bruce Timm universe, animated universe. They understood the character much better. I think they even had a scene where we have a crossover at some point between Batman and Superman, and one of the character explains that the even though they use different methods, at the end of the day, Batman and Superman are both trying to prevent people from dying. It's that simple. Oh yeah, that yeah, Jeffrey, you're pretty much the world's finest with Lex Luthor and the Joker. That was that's what BVS should have been. And that's the sad part is that the live action movies cannot even do what the cartoon did so masterfully. Yeah, yeah, even the Superman and Supergirl was better than what they did in BVS. Yeah, it was the world's finest Bruce Timm cartoon. That's true. Oh yeah, I love that. And also, it's when they had tweaked the style of the Batman animated series. They had made it a bit more angular and a bit more "quote unquote" modern at the time. And holy crap, it was so good on so many levels. Jeffrey, you evil you! You're making me nostalgic about that awesome cartoon. So anyway, so I think we're going to call it quits for tonight, guys. Tomorrow, for those who don't know, it's the last day of the anniversary event. So if there's still some stuff that you guys need from the anniversary event, you have until tomorrow to be able to get it. And the same for those of you who are playing on PS3. Sadly, tomorrow will be the last day you're going to be able to play DC Universe Online using your PS3. And also those of you who have the free membership. Again, tomorrow will be the last day of the free membership. To answer AZ Bros, Grant Gustin. Grant Gustin is the Flash. Ezra Miller was trying way too much to be jokey. I understand what they're trying to do, but not really. Holy lag, Batman. There's a lot of rumors about Shazam. We don't really know exactly what's going on. So, is Superman going to be in Shazam? It would be good. It would be cool if he was. Yeah, well, the thing about Ezra is that we don't know if he was. Is he really running like that, or was he trying to be jokey, jokey? So we don't really know. But yeah, he was running funny. But again, was it him trying to be funny while he was running, or is he really that bad at trying to run? No idea. But yeah, the CW Flash is much better. There's no contest. Yeah, I saw the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer. That should be fun. The one complaint, I guess two complaints I have. The costume. I wish they had some yellow on the costume. The costume is lacks contrast. So it would have been nice if they had. It would have been nice if they had given her something a little closer to her costume in the comics, or at least the color pattern of the costume. If it could be that he was told to run like that, it's quite possible. But the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer looked really good. Again, the only thing I wish the costume had more contrast. I wish they were using. I'm not sure why they're not using the costume they showed at the very end of the Ant-Man film. Somehow they felt they had to redesign the costume or something between movies. They always do that. Yeah, yellow and black like a wasp. That's exactly it, Jeffrey. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer is going to be the original Wasp, and Lawrence Fishburne is going to be Bill Foster. I don't know if he's going to become Goliath or Black Goliath, as he was called also at some point. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, for Ezra Miller, it's quite possible he was told to run like that. But for Ezra Miller, they were trying to be way too jokey with that character. Yes, at some point the Flash was the comic relief when Wally was the Flash, and when he was the Flash on the Justice League cartoon. Yes, Wally was a bit of a comic relief, but never to the extent that they were trying to do with Ezra Miller. So that's going to be it for tonight, guys. So tomorrow will be another day. Hopefully, we'll have lots of good stuff in the meantime. We sold something. Let's go check what we sold. And we're going to end after that. Oh, 60,000. That's good. So that's going to be it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching. And hopefully, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Oh, and don't forget, tonight, The Flash. Bye-bye.